go. There you go. All right, everybody. What's up? We're live. We got AJ Green's jersey. We're actually interviewing AJ Green's jersey. It's autographed. Kenny, is that autographed? Is that AJ Green?
It actually is autographed.
Hell yeah. Look at me. I know my athletes. I got
you. Do.
Big
Georgia Bulldog fan.
I got it. There we go. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to do a podcast. Are you? There you go. You're ready to do a podcast. Let me find us out here live. I got to do the thing where now that we're live, I am going to put the link. So here's the thing that happens every time we go live, Kenny. Okay. Everybody goes to my personal page and starts commenting, but we can't see it. And there's like a whole dialogue going on over there, but I never see it. So this is the thing I need to do is I'm going to go over there, and you can share it to your page if you'd like. Okay. I'm going to get into our live feed on Best Damn Bookkeeping's Facebook page right now, and I'm actually going to take that link, and I'm going to drop it.
Oh, there it is.
I'm going to drop our link over on my personal page. So y'all, when you jump on my personal page, you're going to hear me say, hey, whoever your name is, don't comment on my personal page. Get over to the business page so that we can like interact with you.
So I just need to share it on my page.
You can just share it on your page, and then it's out there. And because you're sharing the Best Damn Bookkeeping feed, then when they comment on your page, it'll come to like the live feed, so we can put it on the screen and BS with them. But cool. I'm streaming directly to mine, and if they go onto mine, we won't see it. And so for all y'all that end up watching on my personal feed, you need to click on the link that I am putting in the comments right now. Here it is. There it is. It's out there. It's out in the interwebs. So click on that link. I'm even going to pin it. It is pinned because apparently that's a thing you can do on there. So it's pinned on my page. Therefore, you can get your ass over to the cool spot where the cool kids are hanging out. It's like high school lunch tables. You got to get to where the cool kids are hanging out. And you comment. And we got Kenny Kaufman in the house tonight in the Best Damn Bar. What the hell's going on, Kenny?
I'm in my happy place. I'm at the bar hanging out with you.
It's a good place to be, man.
Had a good day of work. Now I'm here.
There it is. This is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. Are you? So you got an AJ Green jersey up behind you. Are you like from Georgia? Originally from Georgia? Just bleed the Bulldog blood?
Yep, exactly. Born and raised in Augusta, Georgia. Been a dog fan my whole life. We had a bad weekend last weekend. We don't need to talk about it.
I haven't followed. Don't get offended here. I've dropped out of college football since they started doing this transfer portal thing. I just don't care anymore. Like I've lost it.
Yeah.
Man. And I'm a Badger fan, and the Badgers also sucked, and they're getting worse. And so it's like I just stopped following college football. Like, is the playoff over? Are they still doing it? Did somebody win it? I assume Georgia lost based on what you're saying?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah. Georgia lost down to 4. So only 4 teams left. Alabama out, Ohio State out, Georgia out.
Who did Ohio State lose to?
Ohio State got thumped by Miami.
Good.
Yeah.
In Miami, wasn't that controversial that Miami even got in because wasn't Notre Dame supposed to get in? And
I know Notre Dame fans are looking around like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Good for Miami. And as a Big Ten guy, as a Badger guy, yeah, Ohio State, that's what you get.
Nah, Indiana though. Indiana looks like the team. So I think it's still a big I think it's still a Big Ten year. Indiana looks like the truth.
It's crazy to me. That's like the one thing that gives me hope in college sports is like Indiana. I'm 40. My entire life, Indiana has never been good at football and has no reason to ever have gotten good at football. And yet here they are out of nowhere. Yeah. And like, I appreciate sports that can do that. It's the reason I don't follow baseball because I'm a Milwaukee Brewers fan and they like snuck into the playoffs this year and then got beat by the Dodgers. But of course they got beat by the Dodgers because the Dodgers spend 4 times as much money. Right. And so it's like, it's just hard for me to even care because it's not I love the NFL for the equality, right? Like, yeah, there's better teams and worse teams, but anybody can beat anybody. And they can.
I don't know about equal. I'm a Falcons fan, and we have never been good. Like,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what it
When
is
you
about
guys had Michael Vick, you knocked us you knocked my pack out of the playoffs when I was like at my high school, senior dance, whatever it was. I remember sitting there. Ricky Sandrini was wearing a man thong. That was weird, but I connected the dots between that, like bad memory, and then the Falcons knocking my like 13-3 Brett Favre led should have went to the Super Bowl Packers out in the wild card round in Lambeau.
Yeah, dude. Outside of like the whole dogfighting thing, the Michael Vick era was a fun Falcons era.
Dude, that guy was fun to watch.
Yeah,
he was fun to watch. He was like, if Lamar Jackson played back then, we all would be like, what? Like, who is this guy? Right? Like Michael Vick was the first guy doing it. Now it's very, we're in tune with it. We see it so often. But back then it was like Michael Vick was the only guy that could do that sort of thing. And it was like, he's like a running back and a wide receiver and a quarterback all trapped in the same body. Like, how are you ever going to defend that?
Yeah, with a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. And now, like, a lot of guys can do it. Like, that type of quarterback has really, like, propagated, but that's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
But I bet that was a lot of fun. It wasn't fun when you guys knocked my Packers out of the playoffs that year, but other than
nope. And it wasn't fun losing to Ole Miss last weekend either. That was not fun.
So who's all left? You got Indiana. Who are the other three teams that are left?
Indiana. So Indiana plays Oregon.
Oregon's solid.
They looked good. They looked really good. Oregon's got a good team. Tough team. I like their coach. What's his name? Dan Lanning, maybe?
You could tell me any name. It'd be like if ducks flew overhead and I was like, there's a red-tailed warbler. And you'd be like, yeah man, that's definitely one of those.
Yeah. And then Miami, Ole Miss. So 4 teams left. I'm kind of torn, but this is the first time in college. The only cool thing about it, first time ever in college football, I've ever been like, any of those 4 teams could win it.
Oh, you have me reinterested in college football because I've been so like out of it because of the way college football has just, it's turned into like Major League Baseball with whoever has the most money is just going to buy the most stuff. But generally that means it's Alabama, it's Georgia, it's Ohio State. Like it's a lot of the same teams showing up. And no offense to Georgia. I have nothing against Georgia, but I do like when I don't know anybody that's playing, I'm more interested in the game. Unless it's my team. But like the Badgers ain't going to be in the playoff for they got some rebuilding to do. It's going to be a decade before there's a prayer of a Wisconsin Badger team going in there. But I'm interested now because I like football. I like
if Indiana wins it, that's going to be crazy.
This guy here, Scott, he thinks New England Patriots are coming back into college with Drake May and they're going to win the whole college championship. That's what he's predicting. I think if New England went back and I think they would beat all the college teams. You heard it here first.
Know. Are the Patriots good again? Is anybody actually like prepared for the Patriots to be good again? I really wanted them to suck for the better part of a decade.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would.
It wasn't long enough. They need to be bad longer.
They do need to be bad longer, but I was also kind of done with the Chiefs. I wish the Bills would just get their shit together. I want to root for the Bills because I grew up in the Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas era. And I'm like, you guys were supposed to, like, you were there. You were always there, and you couldn't get it done.
I could get down with the Bills.
Like, as a Packer fan, I'm watching the NFC all the time, right? If there's an AFC team that I want to root for, it's the Bills. They're the most like the Packers. Small town. Once it hits November, you're playing half your games in a blizzard. It's ice cold. It's just different. It's chippy. Everybody at the game is smashed. It's perfect. It's my kind of football.
As cold as it is, you have to be drunk at that game, right? Like,
oh yeah, you don't have a choice. You got to thin the blood out a little bit, or you gum up. You gum up. You won't be able to circulate. You got to thin the blood out. I just want them to like stop screwing up. They always seem like they always are good, and then they screw up, which is actually very much like my Packers too. They're usually competitive, and then they screw something up royally, like a Romeo Dobbs not recovering an onside kick against the Bears a couple weeks ago. It's just their MO. But I'd love to see I want a Packers Bills Super Bowl this year. Like, it's a long shot, but they're both in the game. Anything's possible. Yeah. I want Packers Bills. I think that'd be a blast.
Yeah, NFL is still any man's game for sure. as long as the Chiefs are out.
I'm not like a root against a team, and I don't have anything against the Chiefs, but it's really nice not having them in there. I don't know why. Not like against them. Like, I like Mahomes. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great quarterback.
Dude, he's sick.
I don't dislike anybody on their team. I think Andy Reid's a great coach. I think they've got an awesome organization. But everybody's got to like have an off year every once in a while. And they'll be back. They're not going anywhere. They'll be back. Just a bum year. But it's nice to have them out for a year and see it without them in it.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, no kidding. The whole T Sweezy era comes to an end.
That part I could do away with. I'd be fine if Taylor Swift never shows up at another NFL game. I don't need to see her on the Jumbotron anymore.
27 times.
I'm good. I'm good with that. Like, that's not what football's about. Football's about like ugly dudes in the rain getting full of mud. That's what football's about. I
think she brought some viewership, which is exactly what they wanted.
That's what they wanted, but that viewership isn't. It's like in our businesses, it's like getting a bunch of leads that aren't actually going to be our clients. Like, those leads aren't going to be NFL clients. Those leads are going to go away the minute that Travis Kelce retires, which is probably this year, and Taylor Swift is no longer at Chiefs games, because I don't think she actually gives a shit about the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, maybe Kelce will go back to see some games and she will accompany him, but I don't think those Swifties are like lifelong Chief fans all of a sudden. I'm pretty sure they're going to leave the NFL the minute she leaves the NFL because Travis Kelce retires. So I feel like the analogy for us is like, it's like a tire kicking Google ad lead.
Yeah. Next thing you know, she'll be wearing a Phillies jersey or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what she's gonna be doing?
Doing basketball.
Jacob Jones says she's hot.
Okay.
Taylor Swift won me over. My daughter a Swiftie. All right.
There you go.
Joe Devino's hating on my pick. He said, I hate the Bills more than the Pack. He's a Vikes fan. What a loser. What a loser. Vikings. Nobody likes the Vikings.
So crazy time of year for you. Green Bay still in your finance, bro. So this time of year is crazy with all the planning and all that kind of stuff you got going on. You got everybody squared away?
I do think our process is pretty dialed in, where like we do bookkeeping weekly for our clients. So we have quite a few clients already. We're at the 7th of January and we have quite a few clients like ready to start doing tax stuff. They're all buttoned up. But there's always the back and forth of, hey, Kenny, we need this documentation of the truck you bought like right at the end of the year because you're trying to save some money on taxes. So there's like a ripple effect of it. And we did add tax services last year. So like we're in year 2 of tax services. So now that's just kicking off. And so a lot of moving parts. And you know this as well as anybody. Took some time off over the holidays. I always we do like an ice fishing trip with the family and stuff. And I have like, we're way up north by Canada, but I have Starlink for the fish house. And so I'm in, and like I got 3 little kids, so I'm not like working the whole time, but they're on their screens and doing coloring books. And so I'll like fire up and knock some stuff out. But man, the week I get back and my calendar is public, so people are just booking it. I was laughing today. Like my general manager was trying to like grab some time on my calendar. He's like, I can't get you until like next Tuesday, man. I was like, yeah, I know. Like from 6:30 this morning until like 4 p.m. when that show ended. And then I had to do family stuff. And then I'm back on here. And like until Friday, I got to check out at like noon. It's nonstop, but we love it, right? It's not like nonstop, like, oh gosh, I got to work again. It's nonstop, like, hell yeah, here we go. It's the playoffs. It's go time. So, and I don't know if you have the same sentiment. When I'm out for like a week, or in this case, because of the way Christmas felt, it was like a week and a half. I'm never really out, right? Like I can't, even if I am physically out, I'm never mentally out. Like I'm just sharpening and thinking and stewing and planning. But after a while, I'm like, I'm sick of being out. I need to get back into my routine. I need to get back into talking to clients. I need to get back into making podcasts. Like I enjoy being out and doing like, and when I'm out, I'm always hunting or fishing. Like I am doing my outdoorsy shit. But at some point, like I got to get back in, and I'm happier once I get back in. I need some time out, but after about a week, that's about as much as I can handle. If it gets longer than that, I actually like the joy goes inverted. I'm not happier. I'm like mentally worse off.
I'm never not working.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a problem or if it's just me or if it's everybody, but yeah.
Well, when you enjoy it, but man, sometimes I feel bad. My wife is an absolute saint, dude, because I work all the time. Like I'm good at like being available and like going on vacations. We're doing all these things. It's good, but I'm never not available, right? Like like when people need me, I'm available. When the amount of people that I have that are depending on me for answers and for this and for that. I want to be available to them. And so it makes it tough, but my wife takes it really. I mean, obviously we've been married 20 years, so she knows what
at this point she's like, yep, I've like made this bet. I know what I've got. This is what I got.
He's doing his thing. I'll be by the pool,
Yeah. How many people like overall in all your businesses effectively are you accountable for?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
What's your people total? Because regardless, everybody likes to talk about revenue, but I actually don't like revenue's cool. Profit's awesome.
Yeah.
But the toll, the burden is the people, because that's who you obsess about. And I talked about this on our show earlier today. Like we don't lose sleep over clients. We lose sleep over employees.
Yeah.
That's what matters. That's what we're obsessed about is like our people. We want to be there for them. We want to help them solve their problems or like enable them or grow them. How many people are you responsible for?
Yeah, so you and I haven't we haven't talked in a little bit, but I know you know about my acquisition. So I lost. I say lost. I am no longer responsible for about 40 of the 60 people.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, really?
No, I didn't.
So in August we had about 60 employees across all the organizations.
Yeah.
But I sold all of my lighting installation companies. So the companies that I had the one in Columbia, the one in Charleston, the one in Orlando, one in West Palm Beach, I sold all the installation companies.
Okay.
So I'm no longer in the lighting installation business.
Really? I didn't know that.
So I spun that off.
Well, congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Thank you. So I sold those companies. I spun. I've always been doing business consulting. But not to the level I'm doing it right now. So I started a business consulting company that consults for those businesses. So they wanted to keep me on retainer to make sure those businesses are working well. I owned them for 20 years. Obviously they did.
Yeah.
And so instead of being there,
not to cut you off, but like the longer you own them for, the more like intertwined you are in it. So I mean, like, good of you to like stay to help, because there are so many things, and you can call it tribal knowledge or whatever. Like you have great systems and processes, obviously, or the business wouldn't have existed for 20 years.
Yeah.
But there's so many employees and so many clients that are like tied up into that. Like it's not a flip, right? It's a transition. And the longer you've been there and the more the blood, sweat, and tears in it, not that you never get paid for the blood, sweat, and tears, but it actually like makes you stay longer to help because you give more shits about what happens after you're gone.
No, absolutely. Inevitable. I'm still invested. Like I'm calling those guys, trying to make sure that they're successful. I'm still seeing their sales numbers every month. I'm looking to make sure that I looked over all their P&Ls. I did all of their planning for 2026 just to make sure everything's going smooth. And so, but I retained the marketing department, the finance department, all under the consulting company. So
like a shared service style model.
Exactly. Because I sold each one to an individual. None of them really could afford a full marketing department and a full accounting department. So I retained them under the consulting company, and now we consult for those businesses. Not that I'm taking on any clients. We are not taking on any more clients right now, because I'm also fully focused on Redwoods right now as well, the manufacturing facility.
Yeah. How for Redwoods, when did you get involved in that? Did you start it? Did you join it? And like, what's the trajectory of that business?
Yeah, so I was one of the founders of Redwoods, but I'd never worked in the business. TJ is really he's the founder of the company. He's the brains of the business. And
Was
you met TJ.
TJ the guy that was at like Sales Boost and Lighted Up Expo last year in Orlando that I met?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the dude with the quaff or whatever it is, the hair.
Yeah, you got the flip.
He's got one of those.
But I like that you called it a queef first, because next time I see him, I'll be like, hey, I did a podcast with Kenny and he said you're a queef.
No, that's terrible. You're gonna have to edit that.
No, there's no edits. This is live. This is too late.
This
is perfect. This is perfect.
There's got to be an edit.
This is the best part about making a live podcast. Is like
we're not going to make it a big deal. We're moving on.
Sorry, I made it a big deal.
I thought I got past it.
This way. It's just more fun this way. Look at Jacob's having fun. He's here for it. He's here. He's got 3 smiley faces. That's
oh my God.
He heard it. That's the max amount of smiley faces. We're having a good time.
Yeah. And then, so TJ's the brains of the operations. I was still running the install company. So all I was doing for the business was fixture design. So I'd go in a couple days a week and help with fixture design. We're launching new fixtures. Yeah. I give my, but I didn't work in the business at all up until about 18 months ago. I started getting more involved with the business. The Redwoods was growing at a crazy pace. And so it was time for me to get a little more involved, and I stepped my toe in. And now Redwoods has grown to a point where it like really needs me there full time. And so that's why I made the decision to sell off the installation businesses. And listen, those things were running themselves. I wasn't working. I had great people in the installation company, and they were running those businesses anyway. So
yeah. This is like a contentious point, and there's no right answer, but I'm curious your mindset on it. What was, like, if there was a tipping point, where were you at on the option of, like, if you had great people, why not just keep them? And if they're profitable and making money, you have good people, why not just continue being an investor in them versus selling them? Did you feel like it still pulled you back in and sucked up your time, or what? Like, I'm sure you reckoned with that. What was the catalyst to be like, no, there's somebody else that's a better owner for this thing that I'm going to exit it to?
Yeah. I had been grooming the management staff to buy the company for years anyway. And so
like, it was like the team bought it. Like somebody on the team bought them.
The operations manager or partner in each location purchased bought the company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super easy.
Yeah.
That whole thing was really easy. But if I wanted to grow the Redwoods brand, if I wanted to be in the Redwoods brand, I had to step out of the franchise system.
Oh, I suppose just conflict of interest a little bit.
It is. It was a little bit, and I was wearing, 2 hats and trying to serve, 2 people at once. And it was tough. I thought I was doing a pretty good job at it, but it was, either way, it was time.
Yeah. I wondered this, because at one point, like in my previous life, we had window cleaning and pressure washing and maid services in 7 different locations and 100 employees. And then I started doing bookkeeping and recruiting for people with Sean. And all of a sudden it was like, I don't know. I got so many irons and so many fires, and different locations had different sets of partners.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I was like, man, this must be what it feels like to cheat on your wife. This is miserable. Like, I don't know who I'm accountable to.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't. And eventually we just started selling off those businesses, because and I had operators in some of them. Some were good, some not so good. But it became a burden. Like, I didn't have all the right people, and it for Sean and I both, it became a burden. And then it became really clear, like, we are just with our model, we're way more situated to help other business owners. And we didn't have the franchise model. We didn't have other owners. We also were running all 7 of our locations, and we weren't there to run them. And you can imagine what happens, especially with the maid service. You get 30, 20-year-old gals in an office, and like the drama going on in that space and not having a real leader there. And in cases we found leaders, but not every time. Sometimes the person who thought was the leader was the thing undermining and like creating the drama, right? And so it was just like, man, we just aren't the right people to be like running the boots on the ground business. We can help a lot of these businesses. Because we sucked at the leadership model, we got really good at recruiting because we couldn't retain good people. We had to get good at recruiting. And I got good at measuring it because we had to know what the hell was going on, because that was the only stability thing we had, was some numbers to tell us what was up. So it wasn't, at the end of the day, it wasn't bad. It like propelled us into what we're really good at, but it did just like the mental load of trying to like keep all these plates spinning just became an unhealthy or just unfun burden at some point.
Yeah, I look at it like an impact thing. Like you in your life, you're capable of impacting a finite amount of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you want to spread that impact across a lot of things, or do you really want to impact something and make a massive impact? You're going to focus and make a massive impact on that one thing. And I was spread so thin across so many things that I really wasn't making as good of impact as I could have.
Yeah.
And so this lets me step back. It gives ownership to those guys. I'm still really involved in the business, helping those guys and making sure that they're successful. But it allows me to really adjust my focus again. I listened to this podcast this week. It was awesome, with this guy's talking about how he makes like the next business decision on whether he's going to do it, and how that's changed over time, where he does it more monetarily. Like if it's not a $100,000 investment, if it's not going to make me $100,000, then I won't focus on it at all. Or if it's not going to make 500,000, I won't focus on it at all. And this guy's now like, if I'm looking at an opportunity and it won't make $1 million, I don't even look at it. Whereas I was looking at every opportunity that came to me, like, oh, I'll sow 20 over here, I'll put $100,000 over here, I'll put $50,000 over here, and I'll just kind of juggle all this stuff. And it's like, let's pull all that capital back in and let's focus it on something and really make that thing great.
I think I have found, because I in a way I ended up kind of doing the same thing, exiting all of those businesses and really just even Higher Lead Chill. Like, and I told Sean this, we bought that recruiting business from my old partners. And I said, I'm an investor. Like, that's it. I'm not jumping. I'm not doing any work. I'm not spending mental load on this. Like, I trust Sean. He knows how to run a business. He doesn't. We'll bounce stuff around. We love talking business, and we love, just like work buddies, like hanging out and doing whatever. But if I'm going to grow something, it's going to be best damn bookkeeping. And I'm just growing that 100%. And I'm done trying to grow 7 other businesses around the country. It's not, I had 3 little kids. My wife is our breadwinner in our family, and I do well. Like, but she's got an important job. I'm trying to outdo her so I can retire her so that I can like hire her, because she's really fucking talented. Like, I want her working on my team, man.
No kidding.
But it's like, the clarity that we get when we can just be really laser focused. I think, to your point, we can make a significantly greater impact. It's also way more fun. Like, it's way more fun, because otherwise you feel like you're always letting somebody down. Like, you can't spread it out enough to like serve everybody. And that took a big toll on me. Is like, I just didn't feel, we had 100 employees. They just never, I couldn't give enough. And I couldn't, and I felt like we didn't have enough money to hire the right people that maybe could in my stead. It felt like it was kind of like Sean and I against the world a little bit. It's like, man, it just wasn't the right model. It wasn't the right fit. And the old, like, less is more, getting it down to a business where I can just be laser focused on it. And then if I have offshoot investments, they're really, really intentional, because it's like, I want to support Sean. Like, Sean's my boy. whatever it takes to
support. Dude, I
you.
like him.
He's such a good dude.
Solid
such a
guy.
good dude. Yeah. And that's what my capital's for.
Yeah.
Like bookkeeping doesn't actually need any capital. Besides, I did buy a new
people capital.
But like at some point it pays for itself, right? Like it's a recurring business model. This is my wife's decision, but I fully supported it. Had to buy a new ice fishing fish house. The furnace went out in ours for ours is like 10 years old. It's rusting. The furnace went out. Mice got into it. There's shit and piss everywhere. You can imagine a mice infested like RV. And so we upgraded the fish house. I got to go get it Friday. But that's my one capital investment of the business because it is technically a remote office.
Okay. I really want to talk to you about ice fishing because I have hyped ice fishing up in my mind. One of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah.
Grumpy Old Men. And something about sitting in that heated fish house out on the lake, drilling a hole in my recliner, watching football drinking beers, obviously, seems awesome to me.
The beer's always ice cold. It's always ice cold. Sometimes you got to bring it in. Sometimes it's too cold. You got to bring it in because it turns into a slushy and the can starts cold. When we wrap up, I have a specific invite for you. Don't let me forget, but I have dates. Yeah. You can come ice fishing. We'll digress with that one after we wrap up the show. But ice fishing will happen. Maybe if it works in your schedule this year, if not this year, future year, whatever, we'll make it happen. But it is exactly that. And I would say what you expect from Grumpy Old Men, obviously, is a society. We've gotten a little bougie. And so now, like, the fish house that I'm getting has 2 flat screens because you got to have one in the front of the house and one in the back of the house. And it's hydraulic. So it's just like, it's an RV and you drag it on the ice. It just goes, boom, and it sets itself down. It does. You still have to drill the holes, but it's got a battery powered auger. So you don't even get like fumes in the fish house. And there's covers for, I have glow in the dark hole sleeves. So even at night, there's hole sleeves and hole covers. So you don't have to worry about like stepping in a hole or anything like that. And you're just sitting out on the ice. You're in your slippers and pajamas and it's 70 degrees. You're just hanging out. And the real question is like, oh, I got to go outside to pee. Outside it's still 0. Outside it's still 0. That's still real. But it's like, it's in an insulated aluminum trailer. It's just an RV. And then the best part actually is you get a bunch of fish, you go into the bar, you clean them, and they'll fry them for you. Some different lakes will like cook your fish in a fish fry, which is good because sometimes the fishing's so good you got to like clean some to eat some so you can catch some more. So it's like you just got this it's like the circle of life. You get out there, catch fish, you fry them, drink some beer with those, go catch some more, you fry them, eat them, drink some beer.
And what are you fishing for?
Walleyes. Mostly walleyes. Yeah.
But they're so good, right? I've only had walleye once in my life. I think I've heard it's like a white fish, really good.
Yeah, super flaky white fish, like real unoffensive flavor, really like good texture. We'll get some perch, we'll get some crappies, like all good eating fish, especially in cold water. Like when you're pulling them out of cold water, they're real fresh.
Yeah.
Like as opposed to pulling them out in like June in the summer, July in the summer, where they're just kind of mushy. Like whatever you catch is just kind of mushy in the summer. When you're like the water is 32 degrees. Like it is at the verge of freezing, right? Like all the water under there is like just barely above freezing. Those fish are ice cold. Like they're fresh, man. They're good.
But they're still eating. Well, I find that so crazy. Like
it does blow my mind. And here's the really weird thing. In general, like you're from Georgia, largemouths, you're large,
Yep.
You know your way around a largie. Most lakes up here have largemouths. Most lakes up here, the largemouths don't bite in winter. There's certain species like pike, northern pike will bite a lot. Walleyes will bite, perch will bite, crappies will bite, bluegills will, or brim. Do you guys call them brim down by you? There's different places in the south where they call them brim. I'm like, I don't know.
We call them brim.
Sure.
We got big brim.
You got some real panfish size. Yeah. But bass get really lethargic. So do muskies. There's different like species that will get really lethargic under the ice. But every once in a while, you'll find a lake where they don't. and like you're just pulling big ass largemouth through the ice, and it's like, what? Like, and it's random. You don't really know why. I'm sure that like it's hunting and fishing, right? You always speculate, but who knows why they like that color of lure, and why when the pressure was doing this and it was raining out, they were biting, but then when the pressure was doing this and it was sunny out, they weren't. Was it the sun? Was it the pressure? Was it that the wind changed directions? You're all speculating of like, oh yeah, there's an east wind. Of course they're not going to bite, except for that one time when they really bit, and I don't know why, but like that time, I'm not going to talk about that time. Like, who knows? But they're just down there under, like right now, it's January 7th when we're recording this. There's like 20 inches of ice up north. You're driving a full set. Yeah, we're driving full set. There's no regulations. You can drive a semi out there. Is it like all the when you let me paint this picture for you, Kenny, because this is just going to be foreign to you. There's plow trucks out on the ice plowing snow. Because right, you get ice and you get snow on top of it. So just like we plow our roads here,
plow the ice.
The resorts plow the ice and build and stake roads, which is great because like ice isn't consistent and it's moving and it's not like it's a flat surface and there's a lot of surface tension in the water, but like just because it's 20 inches over here doesn't mean it's not 6 over there. And so like the resorts will make sure they're guiding you towards safe ice. Like they are out there checking it, plowing it, saying go here, go there, and making sure you can get to good fishing spots. And so that's kind of nice. And you pay them $20-$30 a day, like to use their access. Totally worth it. Like, and you can buy road passes at different resorts if you're just like, yep, this is the lake I'm going to, and this is where I'm going to go out of.
So is it kind of like a campsite? Like you set your little campsite up?
Yes. When you can't pay for it ahead of time though.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not like I want to reserve that spot, because half the year, probably sometimes more than half, you can drive anywhere. Like once you're on the ice, they can't tell you where you can't go.
Yeah.
You're out there. You just unbuckle and you grab a beer and you open it and you're out on the lake. And so it's right. You're just like, usually when you're out on the ice, you measure distances and beers. Like, it's probably a 2 beer, maybe let's make it 3 just to be on the safe side. Because you don't want to drive, like when you're on the ice driving, you don't want to go over 10 miles an hour, because the faster you go, there's actually a wave under the ice that follows you. And so like you creep along pretty slow. Like you can go 20 or 30 if you're just in a truck. You can go 50.
So you like lick a finger and you go, yep, this is a 3 beer ride.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're like, we're going out there. Like, I mean, there's lakes where you're going out 8-10 miles on the ice.
Oh wow.
You better bring the case into the cab. You're gonna be there for a while. You're probably gonna have to stop somewhere along the way and take a pee. Like I've driven out an hour, like a 6-hour drive to the lake and an hour once you get to the lake. And you're just working, like, especially when you're pulling the fish house, you don't want, like, the ice is not a road. It's rough. There's rougher spots. Depends on the way the ice formed and all that. But like, you don't want to beat the shit out of your trailer either, your fish house. The suspension isn't like a vehicle. And so you're kind of gauging like how fast to go. But yeah, you get out there and like they will plow roads, and then they will kind of dictate where fishing areas are. But if there's not, like right now, there's not enough snow, you can go wherever you want. Like you might get stuck here or there, but there's nowhere you can't get right now. You also, as like an operator, need to not be a fucking idiot, because you're driving heavy equipment out on ice. And if you go somewhere you should, like you never go under.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Like there's always asshats that go through. Always, every single year, there's people that go through
the ice,
go through the ice, die, jump out in time, whatever the case is. Like it's a real thing. And so like you got to know how to assess the safety conditions. And if you don't, just like go where the resort says, right? Don't go Baja and off into the middle of nowhere. But right now, like once the resort says, hey, the ice is good, people just kind of scatter and they go wherever. Once the snow builds up to a couple feet, like you can't drive a pickup through it. It doesn't matter what the hell kind of tires you got on. You'll see snowmobiles going around, but a snowmobile ain't pulling a 25-foot fish house, right?
Yeah.
So then they start plowing lanes where you literally like, this is like a campsite. You like back your fish house in and you're like, I like the structure here. It looks like nobody's fished this yet. It's on fresh ice, whatever. And so you're kind of like trying to find different lakes, different resorts that are like getting to fresh ice that they haven't plowed to yet, because nobody's fished it. Because you can't, a lot of times you can't get to it.
I'm just imagining like opening day of a bass tournament, you know, like where everybody's like trying to get to their spots, all these campers, these fish houses going out onto the lake and taking different turns.
Look at this guy right here, Ryan Lee. I wish you would invite me to ice fish, Dan. What a guilt trip.
I bet he's been invited and didn't show up.
I'm glad you can read the room like you can, Kenny, because I even offered to make sure that he had his own fish house. He had his own his own little private estate. He's like, oh, yeah, I can't make it. I got a thing. I got to go to.
Yeah, I got one of those things.
Pulled one of those on me, but I'll keep inviting him. It's
speaking of him. Are you coming back to Light It Up?
I'll be at Light It Up, Orlando. I forget what the dates are in March, but I have here's my my conundrum. It's not a conundrum. Here's my game plan is I gotta like fly in Wednesday morning.
Yep.
And then I got a booth to set up. And then I speak Thursday, and then I have to turn it around and fly back out Thursday afternoon because we fly out Friday balls ass early for Mexico with the kids for spring break. So Orlando, I got to thread that needle because Orlando Airport kind of sucks, like especially in March.
I've been lucky with that airport.
Have you? I've had one time where it was just like, like this security line looks like it's 2 hours long, and I got about 2 hours, and I need to catch this flight because like I think one of my daughters is in like a play or something, and I was like, I got to make it. I got to get home for this thing. So that's my I got this tight.
It starts on the 4th. You'll be there on the 4th. You'll be there but you have to leave on the 5th.
The afternoon of the 5th. So I like speak, and then I got a little bit to hang out and mingle for like 30 minutes, and then I got to get my ass to the airport. So it'll be
what I'm hearing is Redwoods is calling dibs on the leftover beers in your cooler.
Ryan and I were already talking about we need somebody to distribute whatever beer is left.
Yeah, and then I'll man your booth the rest of the time.
That's perfect because I'm actually terrible at selling my shit. You'll do a way better job. Maybe I'll just pay you to just be at my booth the whole time because I'm not good at. I'm fine being up on stage and talking and whatever, and I'll sell whatever. But I'm not good at standing at a booth selling my own shit. I'll talk people out of it. So we'll do a swapsies. I'll go to your Redwood booth. You go to the Best Damn Bookkeeping booth.
I think it'll work.
Sell each other shit, and then we'll be like, oh, but you got to go talk to Kenny. You'll be like, oh, you got to go talk to Plata over there. Yeah, that'll work. I like it.
No, your schedule's full. Your schedule's free. I'll just put it on. I'll just start booking appointments for your schedule.
I like it. Ryan said, Dan speaking on Thursday. I'm worried if people will be okay on Friday without beer. So yeah, so we'll have enough beer to like have on reserve so that there's like enough sitting at the booth for Friday. We'll have it figured out.
Awesome.
This is his ice fishing excuses. He needs his own shitter. And I told him we go into a bar once a day. Like you can either there's a shitter in the fish house or there's the shitter in the bar. Or if he's really picky, I would even here's the deal. Like it's a 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat lid on top of it, double bagged. And then you leave it outside and it like freezes outside. And then there's actually like a program in Minnesota. There's like dumpsters on shore for garbage and dumpsters on shore for waste, for human waste. And so you got to bag it. You got to bag your piss. You got to bag your shit. You got to like bag it all up and get it off the ice. Ryan, I would buy you your own 5-gallon bucket with your own lid, with your own bags, boy.
And you'll even bag it. You're going to bag it all for him. You're going to do all the bagging.
Well, I mean, I will bag the bucket before he poops in it. And then if he really wants, like once it's frozen, I'll tie it off and throw it in the thing.
Okay. Good
That's
enough.
about it.
So serious
if
question.
If it's above freezing out, Ryan, you're on your own. You got to bag that stuff because then it's not going to freeze. You're going to be the one to deal with it.
Are these fish houses kind of like RVs are now? Like you can get the $20,000 travel trailer, or you can get the $200,000 like Mac Daddy fish house.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I bet you could get one that hits 6 figures. Most are in the upper 5s. There's a lot of upper 5s. My first one, this is classic finance, dude. My first one was a 16-footer. It's 8 feet wide, 16 feet. with like 16 feet rectangle, but then there's like a 3 or 4 foot V in the front. Like plenty of room for a family. It's like a pretty big camper. And that one I think I paid $13 for, and it was used for a year and had hail damage. And that was 10 years ago. And I could get 10 grand for that fish house today. I don't know why they like went up at like and remember, like we're driving around on Minnesota roads in the winter. These things rust out like crazy.
Yeah.
And so like they don't, and the furnace has gone out every single winter. I use this thing 5 times a year, and the furnace goes out every single winter at least once for the last 5 years out of like a 10-year life cycle. They just go through the ringer. Like they're out there exposed, and you're using them at the worst time of year, not the best time of year. The one and that one had a galvanized frame, so it stops a lot of rust, but there's still a lot of like steel that can rust on there. And so you got to like sandblast it and powder coat it and all that shit a few times throughout the life. I think I'm getting like 6,500 on a trade-in for that, which I was like, if I lose $3,000, like I could sell it for 95 or 10, but I'm getting 65 and I don't have to deal with the buyer and like, hey, the furnace went out again. Hey, tell me about this. I'm just like, yeah, I just don't like 65 is fine. I won't tell you what I paid for the new one, because I'm just like,
it has 2 TVs. I can guess.
You can guess what it is, but it's a 21-foot all aluminum. Ooh. And they've gotten better at welding aluminum. Like I was hesitant of going with aluminum for a few years. It's double axle and it's hydraulic. So instead of like the one I had was single axle, this one's got 4 tires on it, double axle. And my old one, you crank it down, and so it'd be like
this one's got a remote.
Yeah, the one I have now, or I'm getting rid of, was like you crank the front down and set the front of the house down, and then you go to this side and crank it a little bit down, and then you go to the other side and crank it a little bit down, and you work the back down, and that was fine. Like it's some exercise. I like exercise
in 0-degree weather and 4 feet of snow.
That's the thing. It's like when it's cold. I mean, when we were packing up this last week, and it was 5 below and like 10-mile-an-hour winds, but 10-mile-an-hour winds when you're out on a flat surface 10 miles by 10 miles, there ain't nothing slowing that wind down. And it's cutting through you, and nothing works when it's cold out. Like we've been out there before when it's 30 some below out, nothing works. Like your truck doesn't want to start, the house doesn't want to crank up, like nothing. Your body, your fingers sure as hell don't want to work. And so like that's extreme, but shit doesn't like to work when it gets cold out. And so the more you can rely on good equipment to do things instead of shitty 10-year-old like rusty equipment, where you're like, last year on the first outing I went on, cranking up the front with the hand jack, and the handle just broke off. Like there's a cotter pin in there, and the pin just snapped. And we're like, oh, how do we get this on the hitch? Like what now? It's like a 3,500 pound fish house. Like with 3 dudes, we can't lift the tongue of this thing. Like maybe if we get a 2x4 and kind of jack it up. And then we had my buddy Duke, who's like 280, sit in the back of the fish house, made it way easier to lift the front of it. We got it right out.
That's awesome.
But it's just always something to fix. Like it's always something to fix.
Well, you're putting it through the ringer.
And you are. Here, you know what the most important thing? This is the most important thing. Whenever we're talking about investments like this, is my wife was the one that said, yeah, it's an investment because it's a business write-off. Remember, it's a remote location. It's a remote office asset. And my wife was the one that was like, can we just get a new fish house? That's when you're like, honey.
Dude, her being on board, that is pretty sweet. So, all right, real question. This might help me out a little bit. Can we consider a boat a remote office?
No, but if it's wrapped and it's always marketing when it's out there and you're taking clients out and doing that sort of thing, you could justify it as a business asset, but it's got to be wrapped for sure. Like if it's not
full, like full wrap, not like we're not talking about sticker, fully wrapped.
I would make the case you gotta, like, you're playing in a gray space for sure, right? And so you don't want to half-ass it, because like the more you half-ass it, the more illegitimate it is, right? I've had this question about like, oh, can I put my hot tub in there because I'm sore when I'm done with work? And I'm like, if it's at the office and all the employees can use it, sure. But if it's at your house, no. like then it's just your hot tub, right? And like a boat and a fish house is kind of the same. The fish house I can logo, and I will, and my wife is pumped about that. I tried, like, I have a Ford F-150 that I bought a year or two ago, and like we have Jeff, who's our tax guy on our team that does taxes for our clients. I was like, Jeff, like, I don't feel good about writing the truck off. I don't drive to any of our clients. It's only use. The fish house, I can make a case that's business use. Like, I do an ice fishing event every winter. My buddy Ben, who I go with, is he is a business owner, and we talk business all the time in our fish houses. And I have Starlink, and I work from the fish house every time we're there. So like, it's a remote office. It's a place of business, despite the fact that my family lives in my house too, and this is a place of business, right? So like, that one I can justify. My truck, I have a hard time justifying. And he was like, if you wrap it and it's out there driving around with your marketing on it, it's no different than a billboard, because you'd spend 70 grand on billboards too. If you did billboards in your city for a half a year, you'd spend 70 grand, no problem, on a few billboards. So wrapping your truck for $5 grand on a $70,000 truck is no different than a billboard. Like, the only thing was this, and this is like my wife's brain. She's like, you ain't putting a best damn bookkeeping logo on that truck that's parked out in the driveway all the time. Like, not in our neighborhood. I'm like, it'll save us like 20 grand on taxes. And she's like,
the HOA is not going to allow that.
Right. Yeah. So like, that one got overruled, but the fish house didn't. And you got to take what you can get, you know?
Fish house. You got a fish house.
You got a fish house. Well, I'm getting a fish house Friday, doing the switch, doing the old switcheroo. So like I said, I'll give you some dates, but mid to late February,
I'm legit in. I've been wanting to do that for so long.
It's a business owner only event, of which you can tell Ryan is invited and not coming. You probably
100% not coming. Listen, it's not adventurous enough for him. We need to be like almost killing ourselves riding dirt bikes through some sand hills for him to be like, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. He'll be in then. He did say in his defense, said, come see Kenny at Light It Up. He's throwing down some nuggets on Friday. He's the fastest to earn the Pentamillion Award.
Yeah.
As my good friend Carl from Caddyshack once said, a lot of people don't even know what that is.
Pentamillion. Yeah. So I was the fastest to get to, when I joined him, I was unfair advantage. I'd been in business for a while. Right. Everybody's coming from somewhere. Coming from somewhere. Yeah. And so fastest to get to 5 million. I think I did it in like 8 months or 9 months. So that was pretty cool. But I am speaking at the Light It Up Expo again, doing a talking thing. And we're also, Redwoods is teaching a class there. So that's going to be good. Are you teaching a accounting class while you're there?
Yeah, I've got a breakout on Wednesday afternoon, I think.
Dude, that'd be cool. I want to definitely.
I have learned that nobody actually wants to listen to accounting shit.
Yeah.
There's cool stuff in there, but it's like when you give a dog medicine, you got to like put it in a hot dog, right? And so you got to put it. It's like kids medicine nowadays. I'm like, man, when my kids get medicine, that shit tastes good.
Yeah.
Like they're all going to be freaking hooked on that stuff. They're all going to be addicted to it. When I was a kid, they made medicine taste bad. So it was like, you had to be feeling real shitty before you're like, all right, I'll take that medicine. Right.
No doubt.
And so I'm cautious when I'm like speaking to not make it sound too much like nerdy bookkeeping and accounting shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually when I speak on the stage on Thursday, I'm talking about goal setting, and like, there's a financial piece to it. But I think it's important that we all like get really focused on what success means to us, and not what it means on social media, and not what it means that other people told us needs to be what success looks like, but like, what are we actually trying to accomplish? So I have a talk on that. When I do my kind of breakout session, it's less about like how to do accounting, more about how to make decisions. Because at the end of the day, when we scale a business, it doesn't matter if we're doing poop scooping, landscape lighting, holiday lighting, HVAC installs. as we scale, it's not about the thing we do, it's about the decisions we make. And, and like that's what our numbers do for us, is they help us make those decisions. And so people don't need to know how to do accounting. You got to go to school for like 4 years to do that shit, and it's boring. And just find somebody that you trust to do it. But you do need to know what to do with the data. Like,
for sure.
That's the fun part. It's like, know the finance side of it, know the fun part of it. Don't worry about the accounting. Know the finances.
I think teaching a class on how to make business decisions is probably that's a full session. What's the proper way to make a business decision? Because so many people like follow their gut and a feeling, or get sidetracked with what one client told them. Oh, you're too expensive. Well, let's reduce all of our pricing across the board. Right? Like one client, right? And so I think teaching a class on how to make proper business decisions would be an awesome class too. But you do a good job of not making bookkeeping or accounting boring. So I think I'll definitely attend that class.
I don't know if it'll show up on the camera enough, but no, it's a little blurry. My little tagline there at the bottom of my koozie is making bookkeeping not suck.
Not suck.
That's the tagline. We got to make bookkeeping not suck.
Yeah.
And like, it can be fun. It can be, because like making money is cool, and winning games is cool and fun.
For sure.
And that's all business is. It's just a money game. It's just a game of, in a funny way, I find this comes very true, as so many small business owners like, man, I don't like math. I don't do math. You know, it's not my strong. And I'm like, bro, you just signed up to play a math game. Like, all this is just a math game. And
business, math, and people.
Yeah. It's just,
math,
and like, even the people decisions are still a math game of how you compensate them and what you invest in the engagement. And there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of intangibles with people, like tons of intangibles. And like, you can't fake leadership. Like, that part isn't necessarily math, but you do it because of the math. You do it because they need to make a good paycheck. Like, they ain't going to work for you for free unless it's your mom. Your mom will work.
She will.
Your mom will. The only person, your dad will. Your dad won't.
My dad would. My dad will work for free.
Oh, my dad would ask for double. He'd be like, what do you normally pay somebody? Okay, well, I'm gonna need double that.
My dad is a terrible businessman. Terrible businessman. Because he will give away the farm. Just give it away.
Hey, there's like a world for that. There's a world for that. There's a role for that type of person. Just not in sales. Probably not in sales.
Well, you have to make a bunch of money, and then you can be in a spot and be like, oh, we'll give some away.
Yeah, he can manage the charitable portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really good at giving it away. Kenny, I want to do this. We've BS'd for a while. We covered a lot of ice fishing ground, which we got to get back to, but you and I can get back to that after we wrap up the show. I want to get into your background, because you've been doing this for 20 years, but like, everybody starts somewhere. And I think the journey is always a really interesting one, and everybody's coming from a different place. And so but before it gets like too late here, and we have no cutoff. This show has gone over 3 hours before, and then some. So it's like, until one of us is about to piss our pants, and even then we've gone pee and come back. So like, there's no timeline we need to be on. It's just whenever the combo is done, it's done. But I don't want to wait too late to get into like your story, where you came from, how you cut your teeth, how the hell you got here in the first place. So take us back to like pre getting into home services, wherever that is in your, you can take us back to when you were 5 years old. I don't care. But like, what was the trajectory? Where did you think you were going? How did you get into small businesses? How did it evolve? And especially, what sucked? Like, what were the lessons? What were the things where you're like, man? And like, I've talked about some of it over the years of like running all those businesses and how sucky that was for me for a while. Like, I got spread so thin, and like how painful it was. Give us those sucky times that like really changed your course, right? Where you're like, I got to do this different. Take us back down memory lane for a bit.
So I have have a cool story, and I love telling it because it's inspirational. But I came from not a lot of money. I have my stepmother and my father are amazing people, but we just didn't grow up with a lot. I'm one of 5 kids, and didn't grow up with much. But
Are you, when you say 1 of 5, are you oldest, youngest, somewhere in between?
I'm middle child. So
do you feel, is that good or is that bad, or
I think
do you not give a shit?
I think middle child is a sweet spot. So I have the best relationship with my older brother. He's the oldest, but he was kind of like the tackle dummy. You know, he was like the test dummy. You know? By the time I got around, things were a lot better. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's doing awesome too. Lives in Iowa. Awesome guy. But I was a talented athlete. Thought I was going to play professional baseball and all this kind of stuff. You know, reality hits quick in high school, and there's no offers, and you're not as cool as you thought you were.
Yeah.
So I went in the military. I was a medic in the military.
No shit.
Yeah, loved being the medic side. Really didn't enjoy being in the military that much. And what's funny is the reason I didn't like the military, I get it so much differently now. I feel so much differently now, but I hated the military. I say hated. I didn't like being in the military because they had 14 steps to complete a task that you could have done in 3. And an 18-year-old me could not get that.
You're like, what? Why can't we just get this thing done?
I'm like, no, we're going the shortcut route, and I want to handle it here. And the military is like, no, we don't do that. You're going to go step by step, and you're going to spend your entire day to do a task that you could do in 2 hours. And that's the military way. And now, being a business owner all of these years and dealing with people, I get it a little better now.
Yeah, like there's a reason why this protocol exists, because we've seen what happens 9 out of 10 times when we let somebody loose.
That protocol is not for the most talented person in the room. It's for the least talented person in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And so the protocol is written for those guys, and we feel bad for the more talented people who can get it quicker. So I got out of the military.
I want to say this, and I don't know if you get sick of hearing this, and I don't know if any military does, but thanks, dude. Like, thanks for your service. Thanks for doing it. Like, everybody's like, oh, man. And I'm like, no, man, even that decision, the courage to make that decision is fucking amazing. That's badass.
I always feel so weird about it, though.
That's what I mean. That was my foreshadowing. It's like, I don't even know if you guys like to hear it. I don't even know if you guys like to hear it.
It's not that. Like, but I did nothing. I sat in a hospital in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Like, I didn't do any of the cool military stuff. I don't push that out. Like, I'm not, I don't go on base to the PX, and I don't take care of any of the veteran. I just don't do that because I just don't feel like I serve my country the way some other people did. I didn't sacrifice anything except time with my wife.
I mean, everything's a sacrifice, man. Right? Everything is like a trade-off. Everybody's like says the whole busy thing, and that's always the moniker of like, yeah, I'm so busy. Well, everybody's busy. It's just prioritization, but you made a decision.
Yeah, but people got deployed. My brother deployed 3 times. I never did any of that.
Sure, in hindsight, looking back, that might be what you say, but you still made the decision, right? Like, you still made the mental sacrifice to say, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go support these people, and like, this is where I can make the most impact. We talked about impact earlier, so don't downplay my thanks.
Okay, well,
thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. So got out of the military and was waiting around for a job. I moved back to a home, married my wife when I was 19.
Damn, you just went right at it, didn't you?
Yeah. We've been married 21 years, so that tells you how old I am.
That's wild, man.
But been married that long. She's amazing. spitfire. She's not even 5 foot tall, and it takes that kind of woman to be able to, deal with my bullshit. Because I'm like 1,000 miles an hour. Go, 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 go.
Were you guys like high school sweethearts type of situation?
Been together since I was 15 years old. It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yep. My parents were that. They met like freshman year of high school or maybe even before that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just can't. It's wild.
It is wild when you think about it, because it doesn't feel like that long. And I don't feel like we've skipped a beat. Like we're lockstep. Good.
And really like, cool. Yeah. And the amount of trust and knowledge of like how they respond to stuff and how they interact with stuff. And like,
yeah,
you just get
and she's tough, dude. Like she just built tough, which, is good. She's one of those old school.
Good if she's got to deal with you all the time.
She's old school. She's old school lady, And so while I was waiting around for a job as a medic, I had an EMT license. I was going to go be an EMT. I was waiting around for a job. I went to work for a lighting company here in Augusta, Georgia, doing landscape lights, and I was just digging ditches. But man, I fell in love with the lighting business right away. Like what you can do in a day and how you can transform a property and how you can change those people's lives and how they use their property. I felt crazy in love with it. And I've always been like super competitive. So as soon as I enjoyed it, I was like, okay, how can I be the best at it?
Yeah.
So I'm just learning. I'm working 100-hour weeks, doing installs all day, doing nighttime demos at night, learning the sales part of it. And I had an awesome teacher because the dude who taught me, his name's Pat Otis here in Augusta, still does landscape lighting today.
No shit.
Might be 90 years old. Nobody knows. And but
ageless wonder.
He still kills it, man. And so he taught me how to do lights. I bought my first lighting company when I was 23 years old. That was the Columbia, South Carolina location.
No kidding. What? So you had decided to do lights. Did you think about starting from scratch, or did you not want to compete with like your mentor guy, or like why an acquisition? Why South Carolina? How did that all come together?
I didn't want to compete with him. But I was ready to make that next step. And the Columbia, South Carolina, because I bought the franchise, right? The Columbia, South Carolina location was available. And so I was able to purchase that location. What's so funny about this is buying a franchise today is so different than it was, that was 2007 when I bought that franchise. And today you've got to have, $200,000 in assets and all this kind of stuff if you want to go buy a franchise. Back then it was $50,000-$70,000 in assets, but
you got a few bucks. You finance it.
I had $12,000 total. My entire savings to 23 years old was $12,000.
Yeah. And sounds about right. Sounds on par.
Yeah. I went to corporate, and at the time, I'm this cocky 23-year-old kid. I'm on fire. The door's been open for me to open this company. All I got to do is go to corporate and convince them to sell it to me, even though I'm not qualified. I don't have the capital to open it. So I'm bust through the doors. I'm telling them how awesome I am and how I'm going to be the #1 franchisee, outdoor lighting perspectives franchisee one day. And it just so happened that time they were going through an ownership transition. And I find out today, the only reason they sold me that company was because they're going through an ownership transition and they needed their numbers.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we got this many now. We
exactly.
sold another one.
We have 47 franchisees now.
Yeah.
They just offloaded their book of business. Who cares?
Yeah. You got this, right? You got this whippersnapper now.
Exactly. And so, but
I feel like it worked out for everybody. It worked out for the guys that sold it. It worked out for you. It worked out for the new owners. Everybody won. Everybody won on that.
It did. And what's funny is everybody wants to think when you see where I'm at today, which, I owned one of the largest landscape lighting install companies in the country. Everybody thinks that like that happened immediately. It did not.
Oh no, never does. Never
Like
does.
I spun my wheels for the better part of 6 years because I just didn't know what I didn't know. Like I had to learn true business ownership the hard way, which is why I love teaching it to young entrepreneurs, because I legit would tell you I wasted 7 years of my life making no money, spinning my wheels before one day I went, all right, this doesn't fucking work. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I think I've figured this one out, and this one's a no. The way I'm bashing my head into this wall, this ain't the way.
Exactly. But I was too stupid. You ever met somebody that just like knew that they were gonna just make it work and it always just kind of worked out for them? I'm that guy, which people hate that guy, right? But I just always would find a way. The truth is I would work my way through it.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of folks from the outside would be like, oh, that guy's lucky. But
yeah,
we all know, like, when somebody says something is luck or unluck, it's always an excuse, because luck isn't real. Luck is made. It's moving and being in the right spot at the right time, and opportunities are created. They're not given. So you just move.
So
just
you're so right. I tell my friends all the time, like the one sport you could put your kids in that will change their lives is wrestling. Wrestling changed my life, because what wrestling taught me, when you don't realize that till years later, is that the guy who works the hardest wins. It's not the best athlete or the guy that's that looks the strongest or whatever. The dude that puts in the most work wins. That's what wrestling teaches you. Like if you want to be better than everybody else in the room, then you got to work when they're not working. When they're sleeping, you're working.
That's
right?
a hell of a lesson.
Dude, that's the lesson that I learned. It wasn't like, okay, he's getting the same amount. I got to beat that dude in my wrestle off. He's getting the same amount of work I'm getting in during practice. So when he leaves, I'm going to pretend like I'm leaving too. And then I'm going to work for 2 more hours.
Come back up here and do some shit
while he's gone. Right. And so I always took that into my career. It's like, I'm going to be the most prepared person. I'm going to be the hardest working person in the room. And I'll measure myself off of everybody else in the room. And that's how I'll know whether I'm doing the right thing or not. Cause I didn't know shit. Like I don't have a college degree. I never went back to college, never did any of those things. Just went straight into business ownership. And so about 7 years in, I went, all right, I'm done spinning my wheels here. And I hired a business coach. And this guy changed my life. What's funny is at the time he owned like 200 Little Caesars pizzas.
Oh, really? Badass. Yeah. Every time you guys met, you're like, hot and ready? Is it hot and ready,
baby? Nope. Yeah. So it was a client of mine, and he took me on as a mentor business coach. And I got, very limited time with him. But when I was with him, I was prepared and ready. I had all these questions to ask him. And he just dropped dime after dime after dime on me, changing the way I think. And it was super impactful on me. And so from that day forward, I quit operating a company and I started really running a business, and really running more in the business, running, a group of businesses that all, work together and make a lot of money.
So you started in South Carolina, and then how did you decide to start adding locations? What was because I run into this all the time. Some people are like at 200,000 and they're like, time for another location. Some people are like 2 million and they're like, maybe. How soon did you start doing second locations, third, fourth, fifth? And what did you learn as you started adding locations? Was it like, oh shit, we jumped too soon, or oh man, we should have jumped sooner? What was the sweet spot you found in going to the next market?
So why? I started first by buying another business, I'll call it an ancillary company in my existing market in Columbia, which was a company called Mosquito Squad.
Okay.
And I had
a franchise too, right?
Yeah, franchise. I had an issue where I was trying to grow my holiday lighting business, and I was tired of hiring and firing people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, why don't I just buy a company that kind of goes dormant in the wintertime and has that type of labor force? And so I bought a mosquito business, and that supplied my labor force through Christmas. It was an awesome kind of trade-off because the mosquito business super busy in the summer, where lighting really kind of slows down a little bit. And then lighting is really busy in the fourth quarter where mosquito slows down a little bit. And so once I did that and then kind of got it operational working really well, I was like, well, what's the next thing, right? And so the business coach taught me. He asked me one day. He said, "Do you want to own one business that works at 100% efficiency, or would you rather own 10 businesses that work at 90%?" And I said, well, obviously I'd want to own 10 businesses that work at 90%. Because at the time I had a hard time letting go of like all the stuff. I'm like, but I'm the guy. It needs to run through me, right? And that was like one of the realizations that you're not that good, and there's definitely people that can do it better than you. Like once you realize that kind of stuff, it puts everything into perspective. It's like it's not about putting me in that spot. It's about putting someone better than me in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so that becomes now the goal. And then I'm just a servant to the company.
I would have like the way you frame that, the one business at 100% versus however many businesses at 90%. I think for a long time I would have said the second answer, and to where we were talking earlier, I think now I'd be like one business at 100, no doubt.
Yeah.
I know what a bunch of businesses at 90 look like, because it's actually not 90. It's more like 60.
It's
like
probably
you think it can be 90, but it can't. And it probably can't even be 60, but you try to give it 60, but there ain't enough hours in the day, man.
When those businesses don't have shared management. So what I did with the lighting company was beautiful, because I don't know any other company that's done it. I don't know any other person in the lighting industry that's done it so far, where they've had multiple locations, where you had a call center and a marketing department and accounting department all in one space, and everything else was just an installation and sales depot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was able to really run those companies at very high efficiencies because the same people were running the same business plan out of all of those offices. It honestly was completely dependent on one good person in each of those markets. If I had one stud in each one of those markets that really had ownership and could run the day-to-day operations and sales, all the back office was done. The monster of the business is done, because we just rinse and repeated it in a new market. So that's what was cool about the franchise, about the Outdoor Lighting Perspectives franchises system, is I could just rinse and repeat. I could have a fully I needed one quality employee, and I could have a fully operational, ready to scale lighting company in any market in the US in 60 days.
When you would go to a new market, would you take somebody from an existing place that you knew was good and like, hey, I'm moving you over here, there's a new opportunity? Or would you find somebody locally and try to like recruit and hire employee number one in a new market?
No, I learned early on, hiring to that kind of scale just did not work for me. I'm not saying that you couldn't hire someone perfect for that. What I did really well, and what I continue to do really well, is develop people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was developing the next, ops manager in this location. I'm constantly trying to hire for that next great guy that I can move to Tampa or move to, wherever. And so that's what I was doing, is developing that guy. So when the opportunity came, I already had my man. I was moving to that market.
Yeah. I like it.
That was way better.
Did you, as you got them into those markets, how did you compensate them? Did you bring them into like equity early on, or did you create a pathway to equity? Because that was one thing we had, like Sean and I, when we had our Blue Skies businesses, very similar model in that the marketing, the recruiting, the bookkeeping, like the phones for a while were all like shared service model, and all the locations would kind of pay the parent company. And operationally, they would all exist independently. And Sean and I would try to like lead them from afar, but we couldn't find the right people to run them. And maybe we were in different industries that don't have as good of a margin structure as lighting. So I think that was part of it, is we just didn't have the financial means to find the right person in a way. And we were too frugal to man up and like pay the right person the right amount of money.
Yeah.
And there was definitely some people we missed the opportunity on that I think we could have had more success with. Did you pay them a salary and like, this is what you get? Did you give them upside tied to profit? Did you give them equity, like sweat equity? How did you compensate them to like make sure you got the right operator there and make sure they stuck?
I always did small earned equity. So it would be a contract that says, hey, and I always did 7-year agreements where it's like, all right, for the next 7 years, you're going to help me grow this company. At the end of that 7 years, as long as you're still with the company and we hit this goal, then you'll receive 10% equity in the company, or whatever it was at that time. So I did
that's
like
a long timeline. Did you have people that were like, hell no? Like, that's a pretty long timeline.
Well, it is a long timeline, but if you think about it, they're earning, as long as they stay on that track, they're earning an advanced equity every year.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it may not, it's still gaining interest every year. It's gaining, it's worth more every other year. But it takes, so at that time, outdoor lighting perspective's franchise contract was 7 years. So that's why that's the reason
it makes sense to go with 7 years.
That's why I chose that to begin with. And it just ended up being the way we did it. But honestly, like, it takes about 7 years, 5 to 7 years to get a market like on what I call like the profit monster, like where it just is eating money every day with no issues, right? And so, guys think it takes a year and 2 years or 3. Like, it really takes some time to build a business that way.
It is funny. And I noticed this, like doing coaching with Ryan and talking to a lot of landscape lighting people, is a lot of new people come in and they'll be like, well, I see what Kenny's doing. Right.
Yeah.
And I see what Greg is doing. I see what Chris is doing. I see what this guy's doing and what that guy's doing. And I'm like, yeah, they're out there. They've also been doing it for fucking ever, man. Like, and you've been doing this for 2 years and you're like, I can't figure out marketing that works. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, your marketing isn't even starting to work yet, right? Like, landscape lighting is a relationship marketing style business. It's not a transactional business. It's a relationship business. It's going to take you years to build these relationships. It's kind of, and like, it's not as, I don't know if sleazy is the word, but like personal financial advising, those guys are like, that's their life, right? It's just like out there building relationships. And if they can do it and not come across like a salesperson and like a sleazeball, they can be really successful. Like, but they just got to be out there building trust and doing it honestly, and like just not rubbing people the wrong way. And landscape lighting is a very similar skill set. It's like, you got to go build the right relationships and not be pushy and find the right people to talk to. And eventually it's going to turn into $100,000 job. And then $100,000 job that goes well turns into a lot of those jobs, because those people know the other people that need the $50,000 to $200,000 jobs. But
correct.
That ain't gonna, tomorrow you're going to be lucky to sell a $3,000 job to a transactional person like me. That's like, yeah, I just want 12 lights. How much is that going to cost? Oh man, I guess I got to do 15 lights. And can I, like nickel and dime this thing to get it down to 2,800? Like, I'm your client right now. Like, you got to work your way up to the person with millions of dollars that is like, do I want 100 fixtures, or is 110 the right amount? I guess maybe we'll make it 110. Yes,
everyone wants to skip the hard part.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you asked me earlier, like, what, like the hard parts of the business, like, I'm that weird guy that loves going to the dentist and getting my teeth cleaned.
Which
Like
part of it do you like though?
The pain, like the going through the hard, and obviously getting your teeth clean doesn't hurt like it used to. But
they've gotten better. But when they floss, they still try to make it hurt to like send a message like you need to floss more. They still try.
But at the end, I feel like accomplished. Now I've got my teeth; they're so clean, everything's good. Like that is like some of business, right? Like you gotta go through the hard to get to the pearly white teeth. It's and skipping the hard part is a mistake. Like you got to take some lumps to truly appreciate like real success.
Yeah. I think it's detrimental to like talking about background and earlier when you were talking, about your upbringing and like middle of 5 and didn't have a ton. I actually I didn't grow up in a rich family, but I grew up great. Like we had a few boats, we had a camper. Neither of my parents went to college, but they had the same gusto that you have. Like they just outwork everybody. They still do. Like, but they're retired and they're like, well, we run the snowmobile club and then we got the lake association and we run the raffles for this. And then we got it. My dad MCs, believe it or not, my dad MCs all the gigs at the bars. Go figure. Like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right. And it's like, they can't stop themselves. They just keep working. They don't know any other way. They just outwork everybody. They don't, when they're sitting still looks like, I cracked this beer. I better get up and start like doing something with my hands. I don't know what else to do. Like I gotta be.
They enjoy it though.
Oh, they super enjoy it. They're miserable sitting idle. They're miserable.
I love the grind.
Yeah.
I love the grind.
Yeah. And so like I think it's just it's like a way of going about things. And I find that I have a like this weird paradigm that I'm in where because of how hard they work, like I grew up easy in a way, but they also didn't give me anything. Like they made sure they taught me the lessons, like teach me how to earn stuff. And I have a lot of value in that, but I almost have value in it of like guilt that I didn't grow up harder. Like nobody really close to me died. My parents didn't get divorced. I didn't have this, like there's people that went through some incredibly difficult shit and I didn't. And I'm like, there's this weird piece of me like that has remorse for anybody that went through some really hard shit. And I have a weird like tinge of jealousy of, oh man, it's unfair that you're so battle hardened because like you've gone through stuff that I can't recreate. So like the grit that you have from going through hard shit, I can't create that. I can't manifest that situation. I don't have it.
Yeah, but on the other end of that, you definitely like they made you earn it, which is I think the most coming from a parent who me that I feel like we made massive mistakes raising our like I felt like we were terrible parents. Like, and by terrible I mean like the best parents. We gave her everything. Like she gets everything. Whatever you want, baby, anything you want. We made her life too easy. And I feel like we made such a terrible mistake with her where we robbed her of that ability to
like
solve
the burden.
problems.
Yeah, the burden of like hardship.
Like all she knows is like, oh, it's hard. Well, let's go see what,
I'll ask my dad.
Yeah, let's go see what they're doing and see if they'll fix it, Yeah. And so it took like, and she's doing so much better now. She's kind of had to learn some of the tough lessons, and she's given us a grandbaby, which I'm freaking pumped about.
Grandma Kenny.
Yeah, her name is Shyla, and that's another cool phase of life that we're going through right now, which is super awesome. But yeah, man, parenting is tough, dude. Like, I don't think anybody does it well.
No, it's impossible to do well. It's like it's the quest for who's the least worst. And there's no right answer. Yeah, there's no right. Everybody that's not a parent that is like young and thinking about having kids is like, she's how I'm going to do it. Like, this is how it's done. And then when you're a parent, you're like, fuck it. Like we just need to get to tomorrow. We just, if everybody in this household is still alive tomorrow, that's a huge win. We just need to get to tomorrow and try this all again, and we'll see how we do tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just and like I do find I'm not critical of people's parenting techniques, similar to like I'm not critical of other business owners' leadership techniques. Like how you lead your team is so core to you, and you're going to attract people that follow your style of leadership. Like you can imagine the type of leader I am. I'm all over the place. Yeah. And I let my team know that I'm all over the place. And like, don't be surprised when you ask me to do something 3 times. Like it's okay. This is who I am. Now, like I need you to be really good at systems and processes, but I'm not. But I'm really good at having conversations and building relationships and growing our business. And that is my role in this business. I am not great at execution. I will drop ball over and over and over again. I need you to like remind me to record this video for you, to do that for you. Like help me get over my like shortcomings, and I'm going to like help you get over yours. And I feel like parenting is so much of that is like, we're all going to have our own niches and our own communication style with our spouses. It's like, this is the classic, like, know thyself. Yeah. Right? Like, we got to know how we interact with our kids and what roles we play. And there's like strong suits that we have. And sometimes our strong suits are also like our weakest things as a parent. Like I'm the yeller, right? I'm the enforcer in our household. I don't put up with shit. And that's great, except for when it's not, because sometimes I'm just an asshole. And sometimes I overcompensate because my wife is very like understanding and like motherly, and then if they whine enough, they get what they want, and I'm like, fuck that, like, not here comes not dad. My house. Not happening. Like I'm taking all that shit. Oh, you think mom's gonna give you some candy? I'm eating all this candy right now. I'm eating all this candy right now. But like it's this like yin and yang thing, and the better my wife's name is Marty, and the better Marty and I communicate, like she and I can get on that same page, and it doesn't always work out. It's a marriage.
Dude, it's so tough.
There's a lot of morphing going on, but it's like when we're on the same page and we communicate well, I feel like as a team, we parent pretty damn well. But sometimes that communication lapses, and then like our parenting totally lapses. And I feel like the same thing happens in our businesses, right? With our GMs and whatever. Like when our communication isn't on point, our team gets squirrely, and they can see it. And they can feel it, and like the culture starts to feel weird. It's so dynamic and so funny how like the business leadership and the parenting looks so similar, and there's no right answer. You're just like every day is a quest to try to be better than the day before.
No doubt, and you're right about leadership. Like it's one of those things. It's like there's no one right way. Like there's an end game, and there's so many ways and roads to get there, and people do it, their way right. It's kind of that's what's so cool about leadership, though, is you can kind of make it your own. You can also really fuck it up.
You can, and like in a funny way, you have to make it your own, because if you're trying to be somebody else, you can't fake it.
Yeah.
Like people can sniff your bullshit and your lack of authenticity. So it's like from the minute you recruit them, you have to know how it's going to be. And I've like learned that over time is when I recruit people, I do, and Sean has probably talked to you about this through like Hire Lead Chill, is when we do group interviews, and we recommend this to all of our Hire Lead Chill clients, is we recommend a reverse interview where they interview you. And I've like mastered this is I'll do a group interview, and I have to do it digitally for like our account managers. I'm like, I'm going to spend 45 minutes letting you interview me. I'm going to give you everything I can give you about how our business operates. And I'm going to give it to you real, because the worst thing that could happen is that you come work here and I'm not who I said I am. Right. That's the worst for both of us. That's a waste of your time and a waste of my time and my money. And so I'm going to be sitting here and I'm going to be F-bombing, and I'm going to be telling real stories, and I'm going to almost treat this like a home service happy hour podcast. And as I go through this, if you're like, I don't really want to work for this guy, then get out of here because you don't need to. But you might finish this interview and be like, I will do whatever it takes to work for this guy. And that's who I want, is anybody that can't wait to come work with me and with our team. That's who I want. If you leave this interview and your reaction isn't fuck yeah, then don't come and work here, because it has to be fuck yeah. It has to be at that like excitement level of like, I can't wait to go work with this team and be a part of this thing. And if you're like, yeah, this guy's kind of loud and obnoxious and he swears a lot, like, yeah, go work somewhere else. You're going to be way happier somewhere else. Don't come work here. And I feel like, not that I'm like F-bombing at my kids all the time, unless they deserve it. but like so often I feel like people try to be a different leader than who they are. And it's like, man, you just got to like be yourself and turn the microphone up. And like,
yeah, it feels weird. I mean, you can always tell when somebody's trying to be something they're not. But also some leaders do need to change, but they've got to find a way to change authentically.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to make it. You have to, and where it comes down to, it has to be real. Like you have to feel it. You got to live it. I tell my guys all the time, like you can't fake leadership. You got to live it every day by absolute example with no hypocrisy. True leaders aren't allowed hypocrisy.
That's the worst. Can't have it.
It is. Because how could you trust
I would say
guy?
it's like the number one thing. It's the number one thing. Like there's a lot of sins that you can get over as a leader. That one you can't.
No.
There's no way. There's no way over. There's no way over that one.
Yeah. And listen, I tell a guy, you asked for this. You can't be upset. You asked for this. You want to be a leader. You want that money. You want that raise. You want that title. But leadership's not
you get all the responsibility and accountability. Like it's not about the money. It's not about the title. It's about what set of problems do you want? You asked for this set of problems, man.
You asked for this. You want to be me? You think it's not that hard? I make it look easy, you know. Welcome
to the set of problems. Here's the
I always think it's so funny when guys are like, I have a buddy I'll call, like calls me, he owns a lighting company, and he's like, oh, I'm just trying to be you. And I'm like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, man. That sounds dumb. I'm trying to be anybody else. Why
because nightmares are dreams too.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. I had one of my like realizations in business, and I didn't I've gotten to see it through, but I didn't get to see it through in that business as much as I'd wanted to, is when Sean and I still had all of our maid service businesses. Mm-hmm. There was a catalyst that happened where, and this would like change the trajectory of my career into like being the bookkeeping nerd that I am now. But we mostly at this time, like we had bookkeeping, we had recruiting, but we had all of our home service stuff too. And I was at like 2 trade shows back-to-back weeks. And then in the midst of that, I found out our GM of our St. Louis location was taking a new job. And it was a good move for her. She wasn't like quitting. She was like, I got a dream job opportunity. I just got to see it through. It's a thing I've wanted to do forever. It's like, totally support that. And shit, I got to travel like a 3rd week in a row. And I got these 3 little kids. And I missed my 4-year-old's birthday. Like, and like, I'm not a 4-year-old birthday party sort of dude. Like, it's not, the event of it is not something I'm like, sweet, I can't wait to be at a 4-year-old's birthday party.
You don't love bounce houses?
I don't even know that we had one of those. How bad of a dad am I? We didn't even have a bounce house. But I missed it. Like, I had to go spin these plates. And I remember that catalyst of being like, oh, damn, I'm that dad, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I've put myself in this position. And so like, we had a few people interested in that role that were internal, and I was just really clear with everybody. And I will never do this differently again. I think this, not to say that this worked, but this was like a lesson learned. Is I was like, if you want this job because you think it pays more, you're wrong. I'm not going to pay you more. If you want this job because you think it has a cool title, you're wrong. I'm not going to retitle you. The only way I will give you this responsibility is that you can't wait to solve everybody else's problems. You need to want this job because you want this set of problems. You want this responsibility. You're going to learn a ton in time. Of course, it gives you the opportunity to make more money, but the responsibility of this job has to create more money in order to pay you, right? You're general manager of a location. That doesn't mean you get more money. It means you have the opportunity to create more money, of which you will get a bunch, but you have to, like, it doesn't come because you're the GM. And I'm not even going to call you the GM because that has to be earned. Like, that's not just a title you get and you get to you're not the boss, you're the slave. You're everybody's bitch. You get everybody's set of problems and they're all going to come to you with them. So unless you love your team so much that you want all of their problems, you're going to have your own too. Like, you have your own set of problems, but problems go uphill. They don't go downhill, right? So if you really want this job, you need to be really clear with yourself that you are willing to work harder, work longer, with the same amount of pay and the same title, because title doesn't matter here, and you're willing to sacrifice that because you crave this set of problems and you think you can make an impact. In the long term, you're going to be that much better off. Like, you're investing in yourself. You're that much better off that you'll be able to earn more and upgrade this business to pay you.
Yeah. When did that happen where team members started saying, well, if you pay me, then I'll get better and do these things? Like, I really, like, I don't live by that set of rules. And when I teach young people, not entrepreneurs, obviously, but technicians, especially, I do some technician classes, is I'm trying to tell these guys is like you don't understand that you could write your own check every day. And all you've got to do is go earn it. If you go earn it every single day, you produce more and more and more. Then eventually you'll be able to turn around and say, this is what I brought. Pay me.
Yeah. Look at the results. Here it is.
And there is no business owner on planet Earth that can argue with that, because they don't want to lose the production. And so it's like, what if Tom Brady said, you know what? Not going to practice, not going to do pee-wee football, middle school football, high school football, college. I'm just going to go, please pay me to throw the rock in the pros.
I'm ready.
No. He had to go fucking earn it for years and years and years before that paycheck ever came.
Yeah.
Like, that's the mentality you got to have. And
he paid money to go earn the skills.
Yeah.
Like, people weren't paying him to go earn the skills.
Interested in self-education anymore.
No.
Like, will the company pay for me to go? Well, maybe. But why don't you go learn the skill, bring that skill to the office, and use it to negotiate more money?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was enlightening to find that when I laid that groundwork, I got a person that was like, hell yeah. Like, that's what I want. I'm in. And I was like, oh, I was, in a funny way, I was like trying to deter you, but also the person that said yes, I kind of knew they would be like, yeah, I'm in. Like, I've been here. I know the set of problems. I know what we're capable of. It's just my chance to do it. And so, and eventually I sold that business not too long after that, but she's still there. Like, I sold that business in 2022, I think, and she's still there, like, going after it. And so it was like the right person. And she had a lot to learn. Like, she didn't have all the traits that we needed of a GM, but what I've found over the years is I don't need somebody that knows how to run a business. I need somebody that has the tenacity to show up every day, no matter what, and cut through the bullshit.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I can teach them the numbers, right? We know the strategy. We know the numbers. That's not rocket science. Like, it's already figured out. It's the intangibles. It's the who's showing up today and how are we going to solve this problem and how are we going to get this customer taken care of and how are we going to handle this drama situation between a couple of employees. Like, the person that is afraid of those tough conversations and shitty situations isn't going to be able to handle that. The person that doesn't care about who likes them and is just caring about what's best for this business and who's going to be here tomorrow, that's who we need there. And it can't be because of money and title. It's got to be because they're like, this is just who I am.
It's just who I am.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm in charge.
It's the way I was raised. It's, yeah, and listen, people want to say that it's a young versus old thing. I have some young guys on our team that work circles around and were raised in a way that they know that I need to go produce, and they need to, treat people with a certain amount of respect, right? It's not a young versus old thing. It's a freaking home training thing.
Yeah, it's a how they were raised. It's a who their parents were.
Yeah.
It's like what's important to them.
Yeah.
Back to the parenting thing. I think that's the trickiest thing is like our kids have all these other influences. And I'm like, how do I teach my kids that raking the yard is a task worth doing?
Dude, what are you doing with the cell phone situation?
Nothing yet.
I made a mistake with that one.
We got a 9, 7, and a 3. Nobody has a cell phone. And I'm kind of the mind of like, they're just not gonna get one.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna get one. And they're gonna be the kids that are complaining. They're gonna be they have iPads and they can play games, but like none of them have cell service. They can't just use them anywhere. They can really only use them at home on Wi-Fi and or here or in the fish house or whatever. But it's, I mean, like we still struggle with screens. I think every parent these days is like conflicted with what he does with screens.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Super difficult.
Trying to limit it and
but they're gonna live, they're gonna like their livelihood is gonna be on these things more than ours is. Right? Yeah. Like they're gonna grow up in a holographic world where all you do is swipe and move things around, right? And so it's like I don't want them to not know how to use them. Like it will be a skill set, but I'm very intentional of like, if they're going to be on a screen, they can't be watching something. They have to be playing a game. Like they have to be interacting with something is my rule. If you're on a screen, you have to play a game. You can't watch some shit. You got to play a game. You got to like at least interact with it, at least move your brain around and be solving problems.
It's just so dangerous for young girls today too, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just the expectations of young girls. It's crazy. And I don't want to, like that's, if I could do it again, Destiny wouldn't have had a phone until she was 20.
I'm targeting phone with high school.
Okay.
Like, I think we can make it through middle school without a phone and our kids will be unpopular. Great.
Yeah.
Win. High school, they're going to be moving around. And so it's like,
it's going to be difficult.
Phone, I want them to have a phone as a liability on them. Like, and with rules around like that phone's going away if you ain't checking in. Like you get freedom. Freedom needs to be earned. Freedom isn't like you live in the United States. So it is a right, but under my household, it is a privilege, not a right. And freedom from me needs to be earned. And if you start abusing that freedom, like it goes away real quick. Like, I can have that phone.
I have a buddy who has 2 young girls, beautiful young girls. My wife and I were talking with him about it, this same situation. And we were talking about what if, how like the don't have sex thing went through high school, like the stay virgin, like everybody's wearing the t-shirts, and like, what if there was a don't use phones movement?
Oh,
like that would be awesome. What if kids themselves went, you know what? We see the dangers of it. We understand. We don't need to subject ourselves to that. We're gonna like abstain from.
We're abstaining from cell phones
till marriage.
We're no cell phones till marriage. I like it.
I think something like that would be super cool. Like it's going to take some sort of movement like that where the kids themselves go, you know what? This shit's not cool anymore. When phones aren't cool anymore, that's going to be like a cool day for society.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're so lame. You can't entertain yourself by playing in the woods and out in the mud. You need a phone. So lame. You're dependent.
Exactly.
You're lame.
Poser.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah, we need to plant. We need to like infiltrate, plant some maybe like robots that just look a lot like kids.
I think we could do this. You listen. We could train a bunch of AIs to just make TikTok videos about how fucking ridiculous having a phone to your face at all times is.
Yeah, look at how dumb you look.
Yeah,
everybody's look at all these losers with
and
phones.
and we'll add ads because we definitely need to make money. There'll be some ads.
Yeah, we need to make a few bucks. But what actually is going to happen, and my wife and I, we're not good at this, but we're cognizant of it, which is like we're on devices all the time, right? Yeah. Like my work is on a device. It's hard to like. I'm pretty good at putting my phone down and just like ignoring it. But am I? You know, like
I'm not. And my wife is though. My wife is excellent. Like she is cool with disconnecting and doing her thing and not being like you ever heard of someone logging out of Facebook when they're done on their phone? Like log out. I'm done. Like
you can do that?
Yeah, apparently.
This is news to me.
She's like, done. Yep. I'm putting that one away for a while. You know, I don't, and I got this thing going now and I've got to freaking change it, is where like I go to my phone for business.
Oh God. I know where you're going. And then I
stay for things that aren't necessarily business.
Man, I go to my phone for business. And before I even get to business, like 10 minutes later, I'm like, son of a bitch. Why did I even grab my phone?
Yeah.
Like I'm responding to this and checking in on that. And then I'm like, I grabbed this phone to do a thing.
Yeah.
Like I had a purpose in mind and there's so many messages and notifications and whatever. And I'm so easily, let me get over here. And I got a WhatsApp over here and I got a Boxer message over there. And somebody hit me with a Facebook message. And by the time I get back to like the voicemail, I was actually going to check. I don't remember what the hell I had been on and then like 2 days later, I'm like, shit. That was the thing I had gone on my phone to check 2 days ago.
Getting rid of my Apple Watch really helped. Like I normally.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I wasn't getting the notifications like to my watch. Like I'm like, oh yeah, really? Okay, well, you know, like I'm a dog with a toy. Go fetch now. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so going back to a real watch has helped some because I'm not like constantly going, oh, what email is that? Or, oh, what phone, you know, what text message is that?
It is really funny. In this world we live in, it's like, it's so technology enabled. Mm-hmm. And part of me is like, I can't get left behind. Like, there's technology that makes our lives easier and faster and more efficient. And as a business owner, I'm always looking for those types of things. So I don't want to ignore technology. Kind of like I don't want my kids to grow up without screens. Mm-hmm. Like there's going to be a lot of value in them. I was actually reminiscing on like one of the more valuable classes I took back in the day was typing. That like learning how to really type fast has done me so much good in my life.
Yeah.
And I think is going to be irrelevant for our kids because they're just going to talk and whatever device they're on is just going to do the thing. And it's going to turn whatever they said into Spanish or whatever language they wanted to. Like they ain't going to need to know how to type. And I'm sure there was stuff like that our parents did where it was like, we don't need to know how to like write in cursive. Who writes in cursive? Why would anybody write in cursive? How stupid is that? Why would you write a language?
I actually agree with that.
It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you write a language in a totally different way? Like it's useless. It's absolutely useless. And so I think there's gonna be things like that. And I'm always trying to think about as a business owner, what are those things that we're doing that create efficiency, like an Apple Watch or like AI or whatever. And like there's this contention I have with technology of maybe I don't want it easier. Maybe I kind of want it harder for like self-discipline and like still staying true to myself. And I have a real like hard time with AI and stuff like that because I value so much human creation. And And I feel like AI enables idiots to do the same thing that smart people do. And I'm like,
you're not wrong.
I don't know if I like that world. I don't know if I like that lazy people that don't work hard can now create the same thing that people that have worked hard their entire lives to create, that they can create the same shit with the prompt. And like, there's that's super broad, but like,
Yeah.
I think it is super high level. I think it's super detrimental to our society in the long run. I think I'm not a fan of it, but I'm also like, well, I can't get left behind, right? Like, I also still run a business with clients and employees, and I need to use technology to do the best service possible for our team, for our clients, for my wife, for whatever. Like, I can't ignore the thing. I don't like it. Like you and your watch, right? Like I'm wearing my Apple Watch right now. And I'm pretty disciplined about, like, I really just use it for fitness. I don't text on it. I don't
turn your notifications off and stuff like that.
The notifications are on there, but I just don't care. I don't look at notifications anymore because there's so many of them. I'm just like, and like our CRM notifies my email and and I'm just like, I'm immune to notifications. It's junk mail now. I just don't like. About the only thing I'll look at is text message. And if it's anything else, I'll maybe scope it out at the end of the day. I just don't, there's not enough time in the day to worry about notifications. So I'm like, I've like isolated it as a exercise fitness tracking. And every once in a while, I'll never text on it. Maybe I'll answer it if I have my cell phone somewhere I can't reach it.
Yeah.
I'm like a weird obscure pocket. And I'm like, fuck, I got to answer this one. But it's like, it's things like that where I'm like, where do I want to fit? And like, do I want to stop embracing new technologies? Like, at what point do I feel like it's unhealthy? Like, yeah, maybe it's creating some efficiencies or whatever, but at what point do I feel like it's actually making me a worse human to grab on and use these technologies? There's no right answer, but it's a thing I think about a lot.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track with the whole, like, you know, we as a people used to know things, and now we just search things. Like, there's no value in knowing a lot of information because you have it at your fingertips. Like, you can go get that information. And I'm guilty of that, like brain dumping absolute things because I know I can go back to it and get it at any point. I don't know where we go from here on that, though. I'm not smart enough to know. I just know that it doesn't feel right, and maybe everything's gonna be fine. By the time it affects us, I probably won't be here, and neither will you. So
that's true. I don't, but it's going so fast. I think it will affect us, and I think that's what it's like. We have this inflection point of how do we embrace it? It ain't going away. Right. Yeah. I don't know any time in our human history where we've gotten a new technology and been like, yeah, no, we should just not develop the internet. Right. Like, we've just, cell phones. Yeah, no, like, we just see the writing on the wall with that. We should probably not like make it illegal to ever use that technology. Like, it just doesn't happen. Right. We're going to keep pushing forward. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Like, it creates really cool things around like how we use energy and like how we communicate. Like, there's so many positives to it, but there's so many negatives to it too. And we're not a disciplined enough species to isolate the negatives. Like, we're not self-aware enough. We're too obsessed with our fucking dopamine that we just got to go get the notification and do the thing with the thing that gives us the pleasure in the moment. And like, we are in a way our own worst enemy so often in that case. And back to ice fishing now, it is why. So like, there's all these business masterminds, and I think those are great. My business mastermind is what I call business owner outdoor badasses, which if you acronym that, it's boob. Very intentional. It's boob. You can imagine what the logo is going to be.
Okay.
But so like, the ice fishing event is a boob event. It's a boobs. It's a bunch of boobs getting together. So it's only business owners, and it's meant to be like, yeah, we can all do this, but we miss out on the things that happen at the bar when we're all in the same place at the same time. And I like doing stuff in the outdoors because it's actually a place where we can fully get out of our businesses in a lot of ways and just hang out. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about business. We can't help it. But to like put the technology, I have Wi-Fi out there. Like, we have technology out there, but we're distracted with reality enough. I do a boundary water trip every year where we like canoe into the middle of nowhere and cell phones don't work. And like, that used to be how we all lived. Now we need to like force it.
Yeah.
But I think those types of trips, especially with the right type of people that are like businessy people and like doing hard shit, like it's still hard and you're still carrying a lot of stuff and doing hard things, but you're like surrounding yourself in the right atmosphere with the right perspectives with the right type of people. And I think we're gonna have to be, as a society, really intentional about those types of experiences because technology is going to make everything else so easy and like non-gratifying. There's gonna be no pride in anything else because it's gonna be too easy. So we have to like manufacture hard experiences.
Yeah, it's like the person that goes to the concert and has their phone in front of their face the whole time recording.
Yeah,
it's like,
and not watching the concert.
It.
Yeah,
just get in that moment and enjoy it right then.
They can't. They're too busy. They got to TikTok that thing.
Yeah,
got to make some content, get some likes.
People making a lot of content.
There are. Let me hit you with this, Kenny. We've hit the 2-hour mark, and like I said, we're not immune of hitting like the 3-hour.
And I just finished my last beer.
Oh damn! I got one more on standby, but you're out. So like that's the catalyst. We got to wrap this thing up at some point here.
Let's wrap it up.
What going forward? So you exited the install businesses. You're working on redwoods now.
Yep.
Where do you see the lighting business and the lighting industry itself is on a tear?
It's blowing up.
It's blowing up, and you've been here for like the whole thing. As far as I'm concerned, like you might as well have invented it. I mean, like in landscape lighting into permanent lighting, and then like the holiday lighting, it's like this trifecta. Where do you see it going? Who are like the new entrants, and like how much runway is there left? Where are we headed?
So first off, the new entrant, like these young guys, bro, they are killing it. Some of these new guys coming in are not fucking around. They learn so much quicker than we did, and they've got an opportunity. You know, back in the day, we had to educate clients on what lighting was.
Yeah. The industry didn't exist.
You didn't sell, you educated. You had to, because they didn't even know like what do you do? I've never seen anything like that. You had to demo it because there wasn't any examples of it outside some photos that you could show. Now, I mean, the technology is there where you can do renderings for like in minutes, a rendering of lighting on a house, AI renderings. There's all kinds of that kind of stuff, but the lighting industry is on the cusp. You think we're on a major tear, which I agree with you, but we're on the cusp of a amazing boom. Like you can see the guys gravitating to the industry. And that's why like some of the old guys who've been in as long as I have, they're all like, get off my lawn.
Yeah, there's some bitter people out there in the lighting space.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
They want a smaller pie with a bigger piece. They don't want a bigger pie with
no sense.
Yeah.
When we can make it where there is no question that every house in the US is getting landscape lighting or permanent lighting or Christmas lighting, right? Where every house above a income level, obviously, is getting it, and every business has to have it. Think about what that opportunity is. Because you ride through neighborhoods now. There's whole neighborhoods of $1 million homes with barely any landscape lighting.
Nothing. Nothing.
Imagine when we've changed that market where it's not like a question whether you do it when you build your home. It's automatic. Do you remember when irrigation was like an option?
Yeah.
Most people didn't have it. Now everybody has it. Like
everybody with a nice house has irrigation. If you're like trying to buy a house, that's like a limiting factor of like, I don't want to add it later. Right.
No.
Like this one doesn't have irrigation.
Lighting is going there, and it's getting smarter, more control. And Redwoods is at the forefront of that, man. We've got some cool stuff going on at Redwoods. I'm super proud of the company we're building there, and the way we're doing it, like one lighting company at a time. Like we're not going to the masses. We could make so much money, more money going through distribution or selling big box or all these things. We don't care. That's not the goal. The goal is to take contractors, a limited amount of contractors, by the way, and make their businesses better. Be their guy. That's because that's where I came from, right? I came from that. That's what I wanted. I just wanted a manufacturer that was going to help me grow my business, and I was going to be loyal to him. He was going to be loyal to me, and we were going to do this thing together. And that's who Redwoods is, and that's what the future of lighting is going. Like if I it's so funny because I tell people like you don't sell a lighting company right now when I just sold all of my lighting companies. Like now is not the time to sell it because the next 10 years of lighting, I think it's so funny. Like the number used to be $1 million. Like man, if you had $1 million lighting company. You were fucking killing it, right? But now it's like if you don't own a $2 million company, you're really not even.
You must have just started.
You're not at scale yet. You didn't hit 2 million, right? And it's nothing to think like some of these guys are going to do 10 million bucks. Like it's not crazy to think these guys are going to do 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, and some of these. In some of these great markets, when it becomes a household thing and it's close to being like everybody has to have it and everybody wants to all the what's so funny is like the purest landscape lighting guys want to shit on permanent lighting.
Oh yeah, which is hilarious to me.
What they don't get is, and maybe they're not doing any advertising. I would challenge a landscape lighting company to do 2 ads on and push them out the same way. Do a landscape lighting job, your best project of the year, and then do your shittiest permanent roof line job, and tell me which one gets more views. It drives me crazy. Because I'll do drone footage and we'll spend $2,000 on photography for this, $5 million, $10 million home that we did, $50,000 worth of lights, $100,000 worth of lights at. And then that thing will get 17 views.
Yeah.
And then we'll do this crappy little like USA pattern, $500,000 house. In permanent, and that thing will get 10,000 views.
Yeah,
like you've got to be able to use that to push the landscape lighting business too. You gotta go grab those eyeballs, take advantage of the eyeballs on that and the new cool thing to then be able to push the other services that you have.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
So it's
and we saw like holiday lighting is kind of part of it, but it's maybe a little bit farther on the curve. And I mean, like when I grew up, nobody would pay anybody else to hang holiday lights. You just did it and bitched about everything that went wrong. Like that was the thing. That was what everybody did. And before that, it was oil changes. People used to do their own oil changes. And then people started not doing them. And I don't know anybody that does their own anymore. Like
why would you?
It'd be unheard of.
Yeah.
Like I go pay $140 for the synthetic oil in my truck at the Valvoline right down the street. And I know I could get it cheaper at the Ford dealership, but that's 20 minutes away. And I'm not driving over there and then waiting. I'm just going to go through the Valvoline and pay whatever it takes. And there's no way in hell I'm going to do it. It's just not going to happen. Like it would take too long. I'm not set up to do it. And I don't hang my own holiday lights anymore. But I'm the $500,000 house. I haven't got the landscape lighting yet. I don't have cool enough stuff to light up.
Come on.
Not yet. But I agree with you. It's like It's just a matter of time, right? It's an education thing. And I don't think you were like shitting on yourself a little bit for like, yeah, I'm telling people not to get out of the industry. And there I go selling all my businesses. But you didn't exit the industry. You went to a place that you can have a greater impact.
Correct.
Right? Just like you said, like if you're running those businesses and this isn't for everybody to do. I'm not saying everybody should go sell their businesses and try to be Kenny Kaufman, but Kenny is in a position where he can influence an entire industry instead of a segment of homeowners in a geography.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I felt a similar draw when I was like, I'm gonna get out of the maid services and the window cleaning and the pressure washing and the holiday lights that we did, and I'm gonna start doing books for everybody.
Yeah,
because none of these guys want to do their books, and none of them know how to do their books, and or they hire somebody and they don't know how to hold them accountable because they don't even know what to expect. And it's like, I can do our books and run our businesses, but I can help hundreds, if not thousands of other people do a way better job of managing their books and their businesses. I probably need to like spend my time helping them instead of helping Mrs. Jones. And not to say that's for everybody, but it was just the weird ass nerdy skill set that I had where it was like,
right.
I'm very bullish home services.
It is the way. I love it. I love home services.
I'm super bullish, but that doesn't mean I don't think I'm the right person to run that business. There's people that are better situated to run a pressure washing business, to run a lighting business, to run an HVAC business. I am not the best one. Yeah. If I had to start one over again, I'd probably get into garage doors or HVAC or lighting, though. Because
HVAC or roofing might be.
I don't love roofing. I love the relationship too much. Roofing is just like a one and done, like wham bam. I was never a hookup guy in college. Maybe it's a bias I have. I just was never. I couldn't close the deal on like hookups. Some guys could. Some guys were like hooking up with all the hot chicks. Not me, man. Was not a skill set that I have. Feel like those guys are the ones that sell roofing jobs. They can do those one. They can do the one and done, and there's on to the next one. It's just not a skill set that I have. I wanted to date everybody, man. I just can't. I can't do it.
I was husband material from day one.
That's true. Yeah, you were married before you didn't even get to do
husband material.
You skipped over that phase. I just failed.
It's like mink.
Feel how soft and plush I am. But like, I think lighting is right up there. Like it is a super profitable industry. There's tons of opportunity.
Yeah.
And there's no like discredit there. Like if you're going to get into home services, I think it's a great industry to bet on. And there's some places that I really think the bet is strong, and lighting is one of them. And dude, to your point, like it's just at the cusp, man. It feels like we're at the microbrewery industry before microbreweries were on every corner.
Yeah, and more eyeballs means more business. That's why like the old guys don't understand. Like all you have to do is be better. Like I'm cool with it. Bring as many companies. Everybody's so worried about competition. Bring all the competition and let them all spend money. Instead of my $100,000 in marketing in this market going to landscape lighting, now we got 10 companies spending $100,000. There's $1 million in marketing and landscape lighting going in this market. Now all I got to do is focus on being better. Like I can handle that. I can be the guy. I can figure out how to be quicker, faster, better. I can figure all that out. I just need the phone to ring for no fucking reason.
Yeah, we need a big enough pie that everybody gets to eat. We can't be fighting over a tiny ass pie.
And right now in landscape lighting, the key to landscape lighting is lead generation. Like that is the key to owning a great landscape lighting company, is figuring out how to continue making that phone ring. And everybody thinks it's being the best designer and having the best fixtures and being the best. It's fucking leads.
Yep.
Like continue, like the secret sauce to this business that I think I've unlocked, by the way, is continuing to get that phone to ring every day. Every day.
Oh yeah. It's the pipeline.
It's the pipeline, bro.
Got to put gas in the tank, man. Car don't run if there ain't no gas in the tank.
No doubt. Well, man, hey, I appreciate you letting me come on here. I am definitely out of beers.
You're out of the beers. We're going to end this podcast, but don't hang up right away because I got to give you ice fishing details and see if it works for you.
You give me the dates.
Any closing comments, thoughts before we wrap this baby up for the folks?
No, I mean we're approaching conference season. You know, I'm pumped. I'm going to all of them. I'll be at AOLP. I'll be at Light It Up Expo. Obviously, the one I'm most excited for because Ryan puts on a fantastic event.
Man. Ryan lights it up.
He does. And then I'm gonna be I'm gonna be posting some trainings this year as well. We're launching some new Redwoods is launching some new products. We got a lot of good things going on. So if you're interested in looking at some different products or want me to, you know, help you out with your business a little bit, I'd be happy to do that.
But let's do this. How does somebody reach out to you if they want to look into Redwoods or want coaching from you? How does somebody get in touch with you?
Best way is to email me, Kenny at redwoodslighting.com, or go to redwoodslighting.com and then fill out become a Redwoods Pro install partner. Me and my team will get to you on that. That's probably the best way to do it. So redwoodslighting.com, hit the link to become a Redwoods Pro install partner, or email me at Kenny at redwoodslighting.com.
I dropped the email and the website in the comments for all you guys. So easy for you. Just go click on it.
And I'll be at all the events. I'm teaching classes. So definitely come have a beer with me. And I'd love to talk lights.
There should be plenty of beers left at Light It Up Expo because however many I buy, Kenny's going to be responsible for them after.
We're gonna pass them out. Come to the Redwoods booth. We have best damn bookkeeping beers.
Yeah, they'll be the best. They'll be ice cold. Probably be a shitty cooler that they're in. It'll be great. Kenny, man, thanks for joining. I say this often, but it's like I'm not surprised. But damn, that was a fun convo, and I knew it would be. I knew it would be, but I'm excited to get to hang out with you in March. That'll be a lot of fun, man.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Maybe in February, once I give you some ice fishing details. Maybe we could do a little back-to-back. We'll see. Business nerds, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. Good night, y'all.